Hi guys, welcome to Learning Electronics Repair, and we have some more car booty today, yeah. But firstly, rather than a new one, I just want to show you this. So if you watched the last video, and I know a lot of you do watch these quite faithfully or religiously, shall we say, although there's no religion in them, I will just mention. But anyway, I digress. So you see on the screen here, this is Windows 95 or 98, obviously running on old hardware, Windows 98. Just doing a restart, it installed the drivers. I think it just detected my monitor basically. Okay, go to the BIOS, load the defaults, save. Interestingly, this loads Windows 98 faster than my modern machine loads Windows 10, yeah? What does that tell us? And that's with an SSD on, yeah? Okay, you're still finding drivers, but I'm just going to show you what this is. So, that's the machine, and this is the one I had on the last video, the Pentium 3, or rather Celeron, that was crashing, going to the BIOS. It's either stuck on the QDI badge, or it went into the BIOS and went no further. I reflashed the BIOS. It didn't really make any much difference, or didn't make it any better. And you can see this machine's actually working now. It probably won't have the driver for the graphics card I fitted, so it didn't come with one of its own, or if it did, I've put it somewhere else now. Actually it did, so it's probably not going to find that driver, but anyway, you can see the machine actually does work. Okay, so how did I fix it? Well, quite simply, I found another processor. So this is the one that was in there. I tried putting a bit of heatsink compound on because it didn't really have much in the way of heatsink compound. Still didn't work. I found another Celeron processor, different speed. That's why it said as we booted it up, the processor speed had changed, and it works. Yeah, so it's never the processor until it is, and that was the faulty processor. Okay, so it does happen. Okay, so that's a happy ending to the last video. I did get 2 out of 2. Although this has ISA slots and whatever, it wasn't worth a great deal. I have one more machine here. I think maybe 2. No, possibly 1. We'll have a look. At the moment, I'm not really finding any of this old hardware. I found a couple over the summer, and you've seen them when I have found them. At the weekend gone, I actually spoke to the guy I get most of my old retro hardware off. He hasn't been there for about 6 to 8 weeks. He's been on holiday. Basically, the flea market or car boot sale is very, very quiet in the summer months. From September right through till April, pretty busy. So he says he thinks he'll be back next week. So when he gets back, hopefully we'll start finding a few more. But anyway, let's have a look at the other one I have. So here it is. Beige cabinet with a silver front and this metallic blue flashing light, I think we could call that. Okay, very similar to the other ones we've seen of late. So 2 USBs, LAN ports on this one though, onboard graphics, onboard sound. So I think it's a reasonably old machine. Some sort of, well, it looks like a parallel port. That one was probably the graphics card is missing. And another, well, I think it looks like a LAN, it's not a modem. Okay, so that's what we have. (52 CD-ROM). So the fact we have the 2 USBs and the CD-ROM makes me suspect this is another one is like from maybe the Pentium 3 era, something like that again. Pentium 2, Pentium 3. Could be a P4 actually. Could be something else like an AMD machine, of course. Let's have a look. Okay. Well. AGP slot. 3 PCIs, 1 CNR or something. Red motherboard. M7, probably an AMD machine. I can see the edge of the processor substrate, which is brown. I think this is an AMD machine. Has a hard drive in. Let's get this motherboard out and the drive out, and let's have a look to see what we have. What we have then is an AMD processor. I can see the little logo AMD, although it's a green substrate. Definitely AMD. All the capacitors look good on this one. A bit of a strange logo, that, if that is a logo for the motherboard. It says registered trademark and copyright, so I assume that is a logo. I don't recognise it. Do you guys know what that is? Onboard NVIDIA Enforce 2. This is part of the chipset, not the graphics. So Southbridge, Northbridge. Yeah, that's what we've got here. Let's just see if this works. I mean, everything looks okay. So let's power it up and see if this one actually runs. What does it do? Well, it starts with a cloud of dust. It's using the onboard graphics. And it's working. So we have an Athlon XP working machine by the looks of it. 1350 megahertz. Okay, the RAM's there. 256 meg, it looks like, yeah. And plus a bit of shared memory. Alright, so that's looking like it's working. Let's get the hard drive and see if this thing will actually boot up. Okay. Let's go to the BIOS. No, I was actually a little bit too slow to get to the BIOS. Let's see if it boots anyway. So another Windows 98 by the looks of it. Yeah. No, Windows ME in actual fact. Okay, a bit more unusual for me to find one. AMD Athlon. Yeah. So another working machine. I wonder if this is worth anything. We have... It does have the bracket, it's just fell off because only one of the fittings is there. Yeah. This is parallel port. Can't see that being of any value, to be honest. And interestingly, this had a parallel port anyway, so office machine, 2 printers or something. This is a... says link AGT, must be a LAN card. It looks like a LAN card. Again, interesting because this had LAN on board. So they wouldn't be of any value, but we can have a look at this motherboard. I've not seen one of these before. Really not sure who makes this. M7NCG400. Is it worth anything? The whole retro gaming and retro PC hardware collector's market can be quite difficult to figure out sometimes. I have no idea how this is going to come up. I would have thought it was 20 or 30 euros, but I've not seen this brand before. Does it make any difference? M7 NCG 400. Okay, so somebody has a motherboard manual for sale. Yeah, the installation manual, user's manual. Wants €12.50 for that actually. Has reduced it from 15.66. Don't see any motherboards for sale of this type. How about looking in the advanced listing? So we go to advanced and then sold. What do we have? Sold items. I bet I'm not going to find any. So none for sale, none sold. Does that mean it's valuable? Not necessarily. So there are two factors, and we've talked about this before, that really influence the value of retro collectibles. One being rarity and the other one being demand. Okay, let's look outside of eBay. So we'll put it into here, see what we can find. Tells it's a BioStar motherboard. Okay, see some photos of them. I see something similar for sale, but not the same one there, €29. I see something similar boxed, 138, but again, these are for sale, not sold. So it would appear, once again, I found something fairly rare, but it's debatable whether it has any value. Okay, so I'll leave that to you guys to figure that one out, and I know some of you are very good on this, so what do you think? Is it worth anything? Otherwise, I just keep hold of it. And I think we have one more machine we can look at on this video. Okay guys, and here it is. So there's some beige drives in here. One of them. Okay. But I'm not sure this is such a retro machine. The motherboard is kind of like loose. Oh, in fact, everything's loose. Look. I recall now, he said I could have this. Yeah, he said you can have that one because I said I didn't want it. And he said I have it, so I have it. So this was a freebie. What did we get? Well, we got a fan, which actually can be useful. We got various bits of an ATX power supply. Useful for salvaging a few bits, no doubt. We have cables. What's this? It's a floppy drive with the motor hanging off. Yeah, we have a floppy drive with the motor hanging off. Actually, somebody was talking about doing some video with DC motors. I think this might be a stepper motor. It feels like a stepper motor. Okay. Power socket. They're useful. Bit more of that. A bad capacitor. I can see that. That one's bulged. Okay, let's get this out and let's see what we have. Okay, I have also another broken bit of a floppy drive. Yeah. Okay, you can see what was in there now. So, bad capacitor here, one. The rest look okay. The ones on the VRM look okay. No RAM. AMD processor. It has both SATA and IDE. The plastics broke on the connector. Not surprised with what was rattling around inside this thing. No CMOS battery, which might be a good thing actually, considering what was rattling around inside this thing. Yeah. Let's see if this thing actually boots up. I mean, it's obviously from the same era as Core 2, I would say, because it's got the IDE and the SATA. So it's going to be some sort of like Athlon FX or something or other thing. Okay, let's see if it actually works, even with the bad capacitor. And secondly, I don't think it would have any sort of value, but I haven't looked for a long time, so we can check that out as well. I could, of course, do all the sensible things, like check for shorts on the 12 volts. But seeing as this was free, and I don't think it's actually of any value anyway, let's throw caution to the wind, and let's just do it the fun way, yeah? Switch it on, and hit start. Well, it starts. It's saying no RAM. Obviously, there is no RAM. Let's get some RAM. Okay, just popped a strip of DDR2 in there. What's it do now? Well, it goes past that and it's bleeped. Okay. Let's see if we get a picture out of it. Bleep. Blue light comes on. Yeah, and it boots up. So Athlon 64X2, 4000 plus. We can see the processor there. Yeah. It works at least as far as getting to the BIOS. is this thing a retro collectible? I think these probably are not, but we're going to find out right now. So eBay again, GA-M61P-S3. Okay, what do we have? Well, not as rare as the other one. This is in the sold listing. So somebody sold one for €1.71 in June, but somebody else sold one in July for €127, or rather £56. Look at that, guys. Look at that, yeah. This was an auction and this was to buy. Different board. Yeah, different boards now. Are there any for sale? Well, there's one on offer there at 38. Another one's 107. Another boxed one at 56. So price all over the place on offer and price all over the place on bought. Figure that one out and then tell us down there. Okay. So guys, right at the moment, that's the last of the retro PCs I have here. As I did mention, this is a very quiet time at the car boot sale. So hopefully by September or from September, we'll start getting some more to look at. As soon as I do, guys, they'll be on the channel. Yeah, so look forward to that, and I look forward to seeing you all soon again on Learning Electronics Repair. Ciao for now, guys.